Thank you for those joining on in person, and thank you for those joining us online. I am very proud to have concluded my first plenary as president, and we had significant milestones this week. On the evaluations front, we adopted the mutual evaluation of Argentina and Oman. These were joint assessments with the relevant regional bodies in Latin America and in the Middle East, and will be published after they undergo a post-plenary quality and consistency process. I would like to congratulate Argentina and Oman for successfully completing this process. With the approval of these assessments, the FATF concludes the fourth round of assessments. This has been a key phase in assessing how well countries are implementing the FATF standards, both to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. But what makes this round particularly significant is that we have moved beyond simply checking whether countries have laws and regulations in place. Instead, we are taking a deeper look into how effective those measures are. In other words, in this fourth round, our focus has shifted from a tick-box approach to a more comprehensive assessment. In doing so, the FATF became the first international organization to measure effectiveness, an approach that allows us to ensure measures are not just in place, but that they're working to protect people and are maintaining the integrity of the international financial system. All of this work makes us stronger. It makes us stronger to fight criminals and to fight terrorists. But we know that we need to build on these efforts, and that is why we reshaped the next round of assessments. We're making it more risk-based. Now, I will share with you some outcomes related to the changes of standards. This week, the FATF agreed to release 4 public consultation revisions to the standards to support financial inclusion, namely Recommendation 1. The FATF is working to close the door for criminals, but it's making sure that the door is open for funds that need to flow through the financial system. We know that the most vulnerable people in our societies can often be the ones that are more badly affected by the effects of dirty money. So it is vital that our work does not exacerbate inequalities, does not drive people towards cash or regulated systems, or deprives people from access to much needed funding. To this end, we're opening up for consultations the changes we're considering, and we're inviting views and comments on the proposals. Since our work must be informed by different voices and perspectives, we're looking forward to hearing from the widest range of stakeholders. Also, this week, the FATF adopted new guidance on national risk assessments. This is important as it provides tools to assess the national risk of countries by incorporating, importantly, views of the private sector and civil society. Only this way we can have a triple lock understanding of the threats we face. And only by working together can we stop criminals and terrorists in their tracks. I will move now to work related to strengthening our global network, which is a priority of my presidency. We are promoting a more inclusive and open FATF. On this note, it gave me great pleasure to welcome 2 jurisdictions, Senegal and Cayman Islands. This is under a new initiative, a rotating initiative to have jurisdictions from the FSRBs in our table with their voice being heard by all the members. They will continue to participate in the FATF for 1 year. With a seat at the table comes a voice at the table. And there are several objectives of this initiative that are important for me to highlight. First, it broadens the diversity of perspectives and backgrounds that we have in the FATF by inviting jurisdictions from areas of the globe that have no or very limited number of FATF or FSRBs members. Secondly, it enriches FATF policymaking by informing the views of the FATF members with valuable regional perspective and increases the awareness of regional challenges that they have in implementing our standards and finding solutions. Third, Guest jurisdictions gain a deeper understanding of the FATF's work, particularly on the standard setting and the risk and typologies. This will equip them to spark further engagement on FATF among the members of the region. Now, let me turn to the FATF's identification and review of jurisdictions with strategic AML CFT deficiencies. 4 countries are coming into the list of jurisdictions under increased monitoring. This list is referred as the FATF Grade List. The jurisdictions are Algeria, Angola, Cote d'Ivoire, and Lebanon. Of course, we recognize the extreme grave situation that Lebanon is currently facing. In recognition of the humanitarian crisis, I would like to put on record that Lebanon's status on the Great List should not impede relief efforts. FATF does not call for enhanced due diligence, nor does it call for countermeasures. And we are working to ensure that channels of humanitarian aid remain open. It is important to me to note that our listing process is not a punitive measure. Instead, it is about setting countries on the path of improvement. All of these countries have engaged actively with their respective regional bodies and with the FATF to develop an action plan, and this action plan is to address the deficiencies of their system. They also have a high-level commitment to do so, and they will work closely with the FATF to strengthen the AML-CFT regime accordingly. On delisting, I would also like to highlight that this week, based on the progress made by Senegal, the FATF removed it from its increased monitoring. In other words, Senegal has been removed of the Grey List. The FATF visited Senegal in the month of August and confirmed that substantial steps have been taken to improve its AML-CFT regime and to address the items in its action plan. This includes increasing its ability to investigate and to prosecute money laundering cases linked to corruption. This week, the FATF confirmed that Senegal is making strong progress, reflecting the benefits of this process. Being removed of the Great List does not mean all is perfect. Senegal has committed to continue strengthening their system, and they must not take their foot off the gas. Before I close, let me make reference to a piece of ongoing work. If we ever needed a reminder of why our work matters, research has suggested that over 300 million are abused online sexually per year. It is unthinkable that criminals can profit from these crimes. That is why this week we also discuss how we can focus on work that seeks to identify financial transactions and indicators to flag up suspicious behavior that will help detect and prevent online child exploitation. This work is expected to be finalized in 2025, and it will send an important signal. There is nowhere to hide. I look forward to working with colleagues to progress on this work. I thank you for your attention, and I will be open to take a couple of questions.